You're listening to the Passionate Proof podcast, where we bring you empowering episodes on manifestation, mindset, and so much more to discover, find, or fuel your passion. I'm your host, Ellie Hendricks, and my mission is to enable you to be the proof to your passion and make it your paycheck. Welcome back to the Passionate Proof podcast. I am your host, Ellie Hendricks, and today, as you may see from the episode, we are talking about the 12 laws of the universe. So I hope everyone is well today, and it's so good to be back here in your ears, or if you're watching on YouTube. So I guess the reason why I wanted to talk about this topic today is because I learned it in a workshop with Laura Grady, who is another coach, and she's amazing. I love her and her content. She's incredible. And I just found it super interesting and knew this was something I could share with you all to take away and tangibly use it in your everyday life. So if you're into manifestation like I am, you may have heard of like the law of attraction or the law of vibration, but there's 10 other laws, which is so fascinating, and I just feel really cool to share with you guys. So it's also something that I've never really tapped into before actually learning about them, and it may be something that neither of you guys have ever heard of either. So I guess with everyone being on their own journey in life, I felt like this would be really amazing to share. So before I do get into these 12 laws of the universe, there's, so many books and so many other videos and resources that you can have a look at. But what I will discuss with you guys today is just so that you are aware of what they are and how you can implement these laws into your life. So the first law is the law of Divine Oneness, and this law is about recognizing and understanding that we are all one and we are all deeply connected. So sharing about yourself and your story doesn't have to come from a place of scarcity. Sharing about, these things can come from a place of love and knowing that everyone can relate to you in some way, because we're all connected in what it is that we experience in our own lives. That can be through your thoughts, through your beliefs, and through your values as well. So being vulnerable, it can be hard. And I definitely know what it's like being vulnerable, and, sometimes it's just not easy. And being vulnerable is important because that way we can share our humanness with each other and having compassion in others and also in yourself. The second law of the universe is called the law of vibration. So law of vibration is knowing that everything is energy, and that can include your thoughts, that can include your beliefs, your actions, and your reality. For example, if you've tried meditating before and you remember the very first time you tried it, I bet it was good, but after, you kept repeating and you kept doing it over and over, and you feel good. You have those really good feelings and endorphins that go through you, and everything that sort of comes up, and the downloads, and the alignment that you continue to receive. This is all through vibrating of the feeling the feelings you get that come through meditation. So when you surround yourself with people who are positive, uplifting, motivational, determined, successful, making an impact, and all of these good things happen to you as well. Because like in the saying, your vibe attracts your tribe. They vibrate off the vibration you give to them. So people will feel attracted to it if it's what's for them energetically. And continuing to work on yourself will only make you become a better person. Hiring a coach, going to the gym, eating healthy, becoming a better version of yourself, building muscle, being present. All of these things are all from being in the law of vibration. And the next one is the law of attraction. So I'm sure many of you have heard of this before, but if you haven't, the law of attraction is basically about like attracts like. So the more you think of something, the more you're going to see evidence of it. You get what you focus on and what you feel is safe to receive. So it is a fun law of the universe, and I use it all of the time. So for example, my dream car is a white Model 3 Tesla, and I literally see this car everywhere, like everywhere. Every time I go out, every time I am driving or whatever, there's always a Tesla or a white Tesla. And I don't know if it's just because of the Gold Coast, but I see them everywhere. And if you are into angel numbers as well, or signs from the universe, you'll consciously see these signs and numbers coming up for you, even when you least expect it, because you are in the law of attraction. Being like, hey, I see you, I feel you, I attract you. Don't go looking for the signs, but let them be attracted to you. And the law of inspired action. This one is pretty cool, and I actually use it quite a fair bit too. So this is all about taking the inspired action that feels in alignment towards whatever it is that you are manifesting. So not chasing in a way that you feel that your ego is taking the reins, because this is fear taking place instead of the inspired action. So don't get confused between the two. For example, this podcast I'm actually recording with you guys today. So this podcast was created from the law of inspired action. So I attended the workshop with Laura Grady, I did further research, and here today be bringing you this content. And therefore, this is landing with my audience because I'm taking inspired action. And if you are wanting to introduce more of inspired action into your everyday life, know that it doesn't have to be hard. Taking action can be easy if it feels in alignment with you, and it really is the ripple effect. It's a beautiful nudge from the universe, like saying, hey, get yourself into gear, apply for that job, go to the gym, eat healthy food. Nothing is as hard as you think it is. It's only as hard as you make it out to be. The next law is the law of correspondence. So we all have patterns. The universe has patterns, and notice these patterns as a part of our everyday life and also people around you. So these patterns repeat themselves, and it's important to notice them. Notice if they're repeating, and if we choose to believe or to change those patterns that come up for us. These patterns can be our thoughts, they can be our behaviors, and they can also be our actions. Notice for a moment if you have any patterns within yourself. These patterns are good, or these patterns are bad. And if they're good, they'll come from a place that feels in alignment and that feels good to you. But if they're bad patterns, if they're patterns that are coming from a bad place and they don't feel energetically right to you, you have two choices. So you can repeat or you can evolve. An example of a bad pattern is not showing up to work on time. Always being 10 minutes late every day. This leads to consequences, and this pattern could evolve to you potentially losing your job. And are you going to change this pattern and be more organized the night before and arrive to work 5 minutes earlier so you allow yourself to be in the law of correspondence? Or are you going to continue this habit which will result in you losing your job? The choice is up to you, but know that there is always someone who can help you, and you don't have to go through this alone. Showing up to work on time becomes a habit within yourself and your human behavior, because if you're late, there will be consequences. A quote I actually have on my wall, discipline leads to habits, and habits leads to consistency, and the consistency leads to growth. Knowing that being disciplined in showing up for work early will lead to becoming a habit. And this habit will lead to consistency, and the consistency will lead to growth. So remember when you used to never turn up to work on time? Now look at you. You're getting to work, you're being 10 minutes earlier and have more of a productive day. So the next law I have is the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. That sounds like a lot, but this particular law works off the law of vibration. So the understanding that energy around us is in a constant state of fluctuation and is contagious. Notice that life goes in waves. It will evolve and it will change at any given moment. Our job is to accept it as it is and not to be afraid of it, because these feelings will suppress, and it's important to let the emotions flow through you in order to shift your energy. The next law is the law of cause and effect. Every action we take has a reaction, and the actions we take have subsequent reactions, even if we cannot see them right away. If you don't see the evidence of something right away, doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It just is working out the way to supposed to happen. So much like when you manifest something, it's not going to be like bewitched and you're just like, and then something pops up. It is very unlikely. But knowing that your actions towards your manifestation will come when you are taking action towards them, which is the cause and the effect of these actions in receiving the manifestation. So the law of compensation. This law is a reminder that we reap what we sow. We will receive what we put out to the universe. Much like the law of cause and effect, you manifest something, the universe listens and says, yes, you can have this if you keep showing up, taking action consistently, being in alignment, going through shifts, and then it will show up for you exactly how it's supposed to. Say, for example, if you aren't having a good day and it feels like something isn't coming your way, don't overthink it. Know that it's totally human of you to feel these emotions, and it doesn't mean that you won't get what you're manifesting, but you will get compensated for what you've done. So much like when you provide someone with a service, you are being compensated for the energy that you're putting out into the universe, which I think is so powerful. The personal development industry can be like, oh, I'm high vibe all the time and all that sort of stuff. But knowing that as an individual, as a human being, you grow through what you go through. And I think, everyone goes through different things in life to different level and experience it in a different way. Next up is the law of relativity. How many of you go through comparison of someone else because they have something you want, or you envy them? Yeah, well, guess what? Me too. I have the same things too, and I look up to other coaches all the time. They have, more clients than me. They're posting every day, and I'm like, yep, that's future me. That's exactly who I want to be and who I want to become, and that's okay. But also, there's people who look up to me and be like, yes, I want to be like Ellie. I want to be like inspiring. I want to help people. I want to go out there and doing things that, some people feel that they're scared or afraid of. And you know what, like, YOLO, you really only live once. And, I'm just trying to do the best I can with the resources I have. And I love this because the law of relativity is so important, and knowing that you're on your own journey, there's no rush, everything comes to you within divine timing, but also taking the time to reflect on where you were 6 months ago, 3 months ago, 12 months ago, however long ago it is that you want to reflect back from, to where exactly it is that you are now, and then also where you want to be and where you want to go in the near future. The law of polarity. Contrast brings clarity. There's always good and bad, darkness and light in all situations and in all circumstances. When we experience what we don't want, we have the opportunity to see what it is we do want instead. And the contrast brings the clarity of what we want instead. We all know what we don't want. So we don't want to be unhappy. Not knowing what we want to do in life, not knowing our purpose or our passion. But this allows us to have the space to say, okay, what is it that I do want? What is it that makes me happy? What is it that I want to do? What gets me out of bed every day? What is it that fuels my passion, making an impact? We are all aware of this. Contrast brings us clarity of what it is exactly that we want to do and what we want in our life. The law of rhythm. The universe is in a constant state of motion, which is like ebbs and flows and different seasons that we experience. And you may have heard someone say, oh, I'm in this season, or, I'm experiencing this in, a season of this. And you may be now in a season that's amazing for you and you're having, an amazing time and having shifts. But then you also may be in a season that isn't so amazing for you. And that's okay, knowing that it's a season and the law of rhythm always ebbs and flows and you go in and out of seasons all the time. It's about accepting and acknowledging that change is inevitable. Like the past few years with the pandemic or something that you're going through personally, everything in life and the universe is seasonal. Seasons evolve, and if you are into personal development and in the space of growing and evolving as a person, you will know when it is that you need to shift into growing through the season, through the law of rhythm and going through the motions to, eventually get out of the season. All right, and the lucky last is the law of gender. And guys, this is not about sex. This is about the two different types of energies, being masculine energy and feminine energy, which some of you may have heard of. This isn't really about, male and female energy. We all integrate both energies. The more we embrace and having a balance of masculine and feminine energy, the more content we feel and the more we feel in alignment. We all hold both energies, like I was saying before. The masculine energy is about, the hustling and the doing and being in a space of, getting out there and doing things, but the feminine energy is about being open to receiving, being in a space of creativity, embracing things being slower. Finding the balance of these two can be a struggle for some people, as many of you may relate to this wanting to show up in being in our masculine energy all the time, which, can lead to stress, can lead to burnout and exhaustion. But then you also don't want to be in your feminine energy all of the time because you will get nothing done, you won't be taking action, and you'll just let life pass by. Both of these energies aren't bad. They're good when they're in alignment and in balance for you. So if you struggle to be in either your masculine or your feminine energy, introduce these into your life. It can be something small, or it can be, something that is a massive life change for you, but then you'll be able to balance it out. So for example, the masculine being like going to the gym, moving your body for an hour or so, just in whatever feels in alignment to you. And the feminine energy can be, listening to music, taking a bath, spending some time with friends, or just having an afternoon to yourself. Knowing that having this time to yourself to be in your masculine energy or your feminine energy is so important for your mental health and for your well-being. And with that being said, I hope you took away something valuable from listening to this and incorporating these 12 laws of the universe into your everyday life. Learning about these laws makes you realize that we are consistently shifting our vibration subconsciously or consciously, and we also become in sync and in balance with the energy we wish to experience. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Please let me know what it is that you take away from this episode today. I really enjoyed chatting to you guys about this topic, and send me a message on Instagram. I'd love to chat to you.